Hey friends, welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast with your host, Nicole
and Hannah. Come join us for some hopeful conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing.
Hey Hallmarkies, we are back for another episode. Hannah wasn't able to make it today, but we have a very special guest for our recap of How to Fall in Love. Our good friend, Cammie from the Hallmarkies podcast, Deliver Me a podcast, and the Hearties Hotline. So welcome back to the
podcast. Hi, everybody.
It's good to have you back.
Oh, it's very good to be back. I love talking about this movie, especially. So
yes, I think the last time you were on, it was for our recap of SSD Lost Without You.
That is correct.
Another good movie.
Another fantastic movie. But the last time we were on a podcast together, oh yeah, I crushed you.
Just wait till trivia because I'm going to get you back.
Okay, we'll see about that.
We'll see about that. And I was finally able to meet you in person at Rama Drama.
Yay!
So exciting.
I had that picture as my background when we were on Honest to Goodness.
Yes. So like I have done in our past few episodes with some of our guests who have been to Rama Drama too. What was your favorite part? I think I know the answer, but
that's not a fair question. Because there were so many different aspects that were incredible highlights, but Casey and Jess are gonna kill me. But probably gonna have to say singing on stage with Andrew Walker. But that was the best event that happened. You know, I mean, getting to be with two of my best friends in a hotel room, just the three of us, that was hysterical. And then getting to see Rachel Fordham again, getting to meet you and Kristen and all the postables, getting to be with Zach and Kristen and Crystal, and I'm trying not to say their character names, and Eric and Gregory, being with all of them in person, getting to interview Trevor Donovan and Tyler Hines. I mean, it was all amazing.
Yes.
And so, but yeah, singing with Andrew Walker was definitely a highlight. I'll admit it.
Yes. I've said this many times. I enjoyed the whole entire weekend, from meeting the postables and the cast and all the other actors there. But my favorite part would have to be singing with Kristen.
Singing on stage with Kristen. Oh yeah.
It was very nerve-wracking, but a lot of fun. And it was sweet of her to do that.
You did it. You got that bravery and you did it. And I was very proud of you.
Thank you. I was proud of you too. Because you did an amazing job, and Andrew as well.
I was nervous. I was nervous. I wanted it to go well, even though it was karaoke night and it was supposed to just be fun. I'm a performer, so I was like, this has to go well. This has to go well. This has to go well. So
yeah. That was an amazing closing number for a karaoke night.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too, being the closing number. I'll say it. Yes.
Yeah. I guess we should get into why we are here, which is
probably would be a good idea. Yeah.
But well done to Gabrielle and Sarah. They did an amazing job.
Yeah, they did.
As I mentioned, today we will be recapping the Hallmark Channel original movie, How to Fall in Love. It premiered on July 21st, 2012. It stars Eric Mabius as Harold White, Brooke Dorsey is Annie Hayes, Jodie Thompson is Claire Russell, Gina Holden is Julie Owens, Panu is Willie Taylor, Kathy Najimy as Kim, Jesse Hutch as Matt Schneider, Rowan Kahn as Teenage Harold, Kurt Evans as Steve Russell, and April Telek as Meredith. It was directed by Mark Griffiths and written by Bart Fisher. Also, a little trivia for the Postables. Rowan Kahn, who played Teenage Harold, he portrayed Phoenix Fink in The Vows We Have Made. Kurt portrayed Norman's cousin Theo in The Vows We Have Made. And April portrayed Miss Hodges in The Christmas Movie.
Yes, indeed.
I love those little SSD trivia bits that we get.
You missed one, but that's one of my trivia questions, so I'm not telling you.
You might stump me. I hope not. If you stump me, you'll have to take away my Postables card again.
I'll do that. Thank you. Of course I won't. Temporarily. You'll be slightly suspended.
Okay.
Okay, the synopsis is an accountant who never quite grew out of his awkward teenage years, that's an understatement, finds himself with a dating coach, his old high school crush. Thanks to his coach, he gets a pretty woman he has his sights on for some time, but realizes they are incompatible. Meanwhile, his dating lessons reawaken old feelings. Not realizing the feelings are mutual, he finds himself unable to act on them due to his fear of being rejected by the one he truly loves.
That's a good synopsis. I love this movie.
It is.
What is your favorite part about this movie?
Gosh, I've got tons of them. But so first I have to say that this was the first time I had ever seen Eric Mabius. This was the very first time I ever saw him. And I loved it. And so then when I saw Signed, Sealed, Delivered on TV, I said, oh, it's the guy from that movie, How to Fall in Love. Oh, this should be interesting. And I was hooked. So I'm gonna go for the cliche. I'm just gonna say it right out. I'm gonna go for the cliche and say that my two favorite parts are, number one, the kiss. Because this kiss, you guys, if you know my dear sweet friend Jess from Deliver Me a Podcast, you know that she is not a hopeless romantic at all. She's always the stoic one, and she's the mop when Casey and I are melting into puddles on the floor. And this scene made her gush. She needed a fan. Ha! So that kiss, one of my favorite phrases was Hallmark hot. It was Hallmark racy. And then the other scene that I love was their dance.
Yeah.
I love their dance, just when he zones in on her and he's just gazing at her, and he goes down a notch or two in his voice and says in this very deep masculine voice, dance with me.
Yeah. And we'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to it, because that's one of my favorite scenes as well. But
oh yeah.
There will be lots of gushing, because I can tell you when I rewatched this last night, I was doing some gushing myself.
It's worth gushing over.
Oh my goodness. But for me, it was the other way around. I saw Signed, Sealed, Delivered first.
Oh, and then you saw this. Okay.
Yeah. I guess we can just get right into the movie.
Let's do it.
So the movie starts out with a flashback scene of Harold talking to his mom in the car about going to the school dance with Annie. And we find out later that it is the homecoming dance.
Rowan Kahn was absolutely adorable and perfect.
Yes.
perfect as young Harold. I think that kid is precious.
Yeah.
I don't care for him with the long hair when he played Phoenix, and then, it took me a second, like, oh, right, he played young Harold. Oh, that's fun. They're in another movie together. So
yeah,
I
love that.
I think that there could not have been a better choice for young Harold.
I agree. I thought it was really cute how his mom was like pushing him to get a photo.
So embarrassing. However, the fact that the transition from the past to the present is the camera flash, and Harold is number one, it's just a very creative way to do a transition. Number two, Harold is a photographer. So that's a really fun way to do a transition, putting in one of his passions.
Yes, I love that transition. That was very clever.
Agreed.
I also love in that scene how she was encouraging him about going to the dance with Annie. That was really sweet.
Yeah, but it was also embarrassing.
It was embarrassing, but it was sweet at the same time.
It would have been better. I mean, and granted, she wasn't doing this in front of Annie, but just wrong time, Mom, to do it when they're at the door.
Yeah.
Let's have this conversation at home.
Yeah.
And story-wise, you can't do that. You have to put it into one. And at least I will say that it was, he didn't have to endure his mother saying right in front of his date, it took him so much courage to ask you out, and that would have been humiliating. But we were safe from that.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about how awkward that moment was when he picked her up and she opened the door and she says, "You're so dressed up. Are you trying to make me look bad?" And then she's like, "It's a joke."
And then the inching close together for the picture, just the whole thing was just awkward. It was sad.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of sad.
Poor
Harold.
Poor Harold. Poor Harold. We say that a lot during this movie, don't we? Poor Harold.
Yeah.
But as so many times it works out this way, Harold's nerdiness pays off because he is a very, very successful accountant. He just hasn't found that success in the social scene.
Yes.
Poor guy.
In the next scene, we meet Claire, who is Annie's sister, we find out, and her husband and their daughter. Her husband's name is Steve. Their daughter's name is Megan. And they are talking to Harold. And then after the meeting, and before Steve and Claire and Megan go home, Claire invites Harold to Megan's 6th birthday, which I loved.
I loved it. I just thought it was a little out of place. You're inviting a man that you hardly know to your daughter's 6th birthday party just because he knew your sister. I was like, interesting. Yeah.
Maybe she was on the road to matchmaking.
It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me at all. I mean, we all know that she was trying to get Annie out of her house. So,
yeah. I love the next scene when Harold and Willie are talking. Willie says, "So, when's our next round of golf?" Harold says, "Do you really think we should keep playing? We have to be the worst golfers ever. And we quit by the 6th hole or lunchtime, whichever comes first."
I think that Willie is one of the best friends that I've ever seen. I just every scene that he's in, I just crack up. I die laughing. I can't help but smile every single scene. And when they're at the golf after the transformation, and just, "What happened to you?" "Oh, traffic." "No, what happened to you?" just, and women are gonna be all over you. Oh, and he golfs better too. And then when he says, "Oh, don't let Denise see you because then she's gonna tell me to start working out." He kills me. He kills me. And the way that he was straight up with the guy and like, dude, you need a dating coach. Please, just do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
I thought Willie was great in so many aspects.
He was. I like when he says in that first scene, bowling. I like bowling. And then, he sees Julie walk in and he said, guess who just walked in? And then Harold is like watching her walk by and Harold says, and she saw me.
Interesting guy talk.
I also love how Willie asks if he's heard of a dating coach and Harold is like, a what?
Yeah, Willie keeps it real. Willie keeps it real. He kind of keeps Harold informed. At the very end, where he takes down the picture and he sees that beautiful collage of someone, and then he goes, "This isn't Julie." And he keeps him accountable. He's so with it. Yeah. Willie is so with it. I adore him. I adore that character, and I want to see more friends like him.
Yeah, he was great. And Panu did a wonderful job.
Oh, incredible. Role. Incredible.
Yeah. Can we just talk about how awkward that meeting with the dating coach Meredith was?
She was just trying to make a sale. And it was disguised as, you can't put a price on your happiness.
No, I have that written down. Yeah.
No, that was just frightening. I mean, I almost expected there to be voodoo dolls and candles, because
I was thinking
bye.
I was thinking the same thing. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, that was that was a little creepy.
She says cost should be no obstacle when it comes to your future happiness.
Sorry, beg to differ.
Yeah, same. I loved Harold and Annie's meet cute. Although it was a little awkward when they first see each other, it was still cute.
She couldn't even remember who it was.
I know.
And he, she didn't remember, she almost didn't remember his first name. She didn't remember his last name. She's trying to cover it. And, But then she's just, how could you do this to me? To Claire. So, I mean, it was a great meet cute. It was for a movie like this, but it was... that would be painful to watch if it was in real life. I would just be sitting there going, I can't look away, but I can't stop watching.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. In that scene, we hear that after college, Annie moved to the city and started her own business. She is an event planner. She planned her niece's 6th birthday party. Harold, as we've already talked about, runs his own accounting firm and does some consulting for small businesses as well as photography. And can we just talk about that photography, because amazing.
He's amazing. I would love to know who really took those pictures in real life. I would
too,
because they are gorgeous. But we're sticking with it being Harold because that's the character.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I really, really love about Harold is he's not just somebody who has no hope for him. Yeah. I remember saying when we recapped this movie on Deliver Me a Podcast, I remember saying, I knew some bona fide nerds in high school. And I remember asking myself, would I be able to do with them what Annie did with Harold? But the thing about Harold was he already had the qualities. He had everything in him that would make a good heartthrob. He just needed help getting it out, and he needed help taking off the glasses. You know, once he did that, did a little bit. I mean, that that makeover, that little mini makeover thing that he had, that and that clothing and exercise montage, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And then, you know, get him comfortable with talking to people, and boom, it's a really good testament to the fact that you have to have the qualities inside you first. And Harold did.
Fun trivia: Steve and Claire's home,
December Bride.
You beat me to it.
It's actually been used several times, but that's the most prominent one. Oh yeah.
That's the one I can remember the most.
Well, and the guy who plays Steve was in December Bride.
Yeah, so, which is funny.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time on that set in that house.
Yeah, I think he played a real estate agent in that movie.
A real estate tycoon.
A real estate tycoon. Yeah, yes, that is right.
Yeah, just big time.
Yeah, another good Hallmark movie. Another time.
Movie. Can I just say really quickly, since we're kind of at their lessons, one of the saddest things was when he was looking in the mirror and he couldn't find one good thing about himself. And, you know, Annie saying, Harold, you're scaring
me. Yeah.
What is one good thing about you? And she has to push him to say, I look good.
Can we just talk about when he
Aaron's performance was top notch right there. It just, the adjusting himself, turning his head, I look good. You know, it was fabulous. I loved that, but it was so sad that he couldn't find one redeeming quality about himself. And I'm just, you know, it just reminds me, oh gosh, how low is this poor guy fallen?
Yeah, but that last part when he actually says it, that was really cute.
Precious.
Annie has a conversation with her sister, and she is asking if she can just stay with them a little bit longer because it's been very hard to find a place in the city due to how expensive it is. And she hasn't been able to find a steady job as well, which is sad.
It is sad, but it's so true. When you're in that kind of work, it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
All right. So question for you.
Yeah.
Claire, too mean or right on the bat?
That's hard. In my opinion, I still live at home, so I'm not in a position like Annie, but I do think that Claire was giving her sister tough love. Which is needed at times.
Yeah, it's true. I was on the fence. I still am on the fence. I think that both sides have good points.
Yeah.
There's, you know, there are a couple of times when I thought Claire said things that Annie already knew and things that she had no control over. And just like, will you stop it? But Annie, you know, you're not in high school anymore. You're not in college anymore. Will you please get it together? Come on.
Yeah, grow up.
So yeah, I thought they both had points.
Yeah, I could see it from both sides. Annie, she decides to get a day job at the local restaurant where we soon meet Kim.
Kathy and Jimmy.
She's a great actress.
She is, and she was a great asset to this movie.
Yes. I loved her scenes, especially with Annie.
She just brought a touch of comedy. And you know, she wasn't a friend to Annie the same way that Willie was a friend to Harold, but she was that person. You know, she filled that role for Annie, and I thought that it was really great how she kept Annie accountable and she kept Annie honest, you know, because Kim was the first person that Annie admitted having feelings for Harold to. So Oliver would kill me for my grammar, but but yeah, she was the first person that heard Annie's true feelings, even before her sister.
Yeah.
So that was a really great relationship.
Yeah, I loved it. I love when Harold gets to the restaurant and he runs into Annie and she's like,
"You gotta be kidding
oh
me."
gosh.
Well, it's embarrassing when somebody from high school is now an incredible accountant, somebody that you thought was a nobody in high school is now a very successful accountant, is making probably 3 times what you're making, or if not more. And, she's working in a diner because she can't get a job as an event planner, and she's living with her sister when Harold owns his own house. So it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Later, we see Harold giving Annie a ride home and opening her door, which I thought was really sweet.
It's the chivalrous thing to do. And there we go again. See? He has the qualities.
Chivalry is not dead.
Chivalry is not dead with Harold, just like chivalry isn't dead with Oliver. The 2 characters have remarkable similarities. It's
They do, yeah. When I was watching last night, I noticed a few similarities, which I loved. And that being one of them, the chivalry.
I don't care what day and age we live in. I love chivalry.
I do too.
I love chivalry. I love when the door is being held open. I love a kiss on the hand. I love pulling out the chair.
Yeah.
Gentlemanly behavior is never going to be a lost on me personally.
No, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he even did it for Julie. He pulled out her chair.
Yes, he was a gentleman for her too. Well, they were an item, however brief.
Yeah. But still, this isn't really a funny scene, but a funny line from Annie when she comes home from her first day at the restaurant. She says, if I were into bubble baths, this would be the time to take one.
I've never done waitressing, but being on your feet constantly like that when you are not used to doing it, because I don't think that she was used to being on her feet so much. And yeah, see, I personally am very into bubble baths, so I would have gone straight upstairs and gotten in that bubble bath. But
I probably would have too. I used to be a hostess, or a service assistant is what they called it at Longhorn.
Oh, at a restaurant?
Yeah, Longhorn Steakhouse, which is a national chain.
Oh yes. I've been to Longhorn Steakhouse.
It's a great restaurant. I worked there for about 9.5 years.
Wow. Yeah,
right up until
for
COVID.
Our anniversary once. So
yes, right up until COVID hit.
Oh, wow.
From June 2011 to February of 2020.
That's a long time.
Long time. I saw a lot of turnover.
Repeat customers?
Yeah, well, a lot of customers, a lot of our usual guests, which some I became friends with or have become friends with. And then there was a big turnover rate with the staff.
Oh,
I can't even count how many people I worked with.
Oh, I can imagine.
But back to the movie. Claire has a conversation with Annie, and she basically is telling her she needs to move out, which just was kind of a tear-jerking scene in a way. While it was needed, it's still sad. Claire says sometimes things don't work out the way we want them to. It's not always about getting a free ride. At some point, we all have to grow up.
And see, here's the thing. She's right.
Yeah.
She's right. Annie does need to grow up and Annie does need to get on with her life. But I just think that Claire could have handled that a whole lot better.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
This forces Annie to get a second job that is flexible, which is
ding, 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 ding.
being Harold's dating coach.
It's a good thing that Harold mentioned that in passing, that his friend tried to set him up with a dating coach. I do have to say, I was very impressed with how much research Annie did. Because being a popular girl in school and being very pretty and stuff, I would have just thought that she would go off the cuff. But the lessons that she came up with, I mean, if somebody were to come to me and ask for dating advice, I would go straight to this outline. That I think that the outline is brilliant. So Bart Fisher, well done. And what dating book did you read? Or did you use this to start dating your significant other?
Yeah, that's one big thing I loved about this movie. We actually got a lesson out of it too.
Yeah, you got a process that if you do it well, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
If I ever get into dating a guy, I will have to go back to this movie for reference.
All right, here we go. Listen up. Lesson number 1, self-confidence. Lesson number 2, breaking the ice. Lesson number 3, the art of conversation. Ask questions and listen. Number 4, start sharing. Number 5, make her feel special, or in your case, make him feel special. Number 6, getting close. Number 7, compromise. Number 8,
follow your heart.
Yes. So there you go. There's your crash course.
Yes. The scene when Annie goes to ask Harold if she can be his dating coach, that was so cute. I loved her excitement and then her downplaying.
I need this job. Calm down, calm down, calm down.
And then she's like, extends her hand.
I've done a lot of research.
Back to lesson number 1, self-confidence.
Yes.
I love how Annie compliments his home and his music taste, which include Perry Como, Nat King Cole, Ella Fitzgerald, a lot of the oldies.
Oh, don't get me started, girlfriend, because this is my dream. This is my dream music collection.
I don't even have to tell you because I like the same thing.
A man who enjoys this music and wants to dance with you to this music?
Yeah.
Come on.
I love how Andy says, it's time to become one of the few, the proud, heartbreaker. I almost stopped.
The few, the proud, the postal?
You read my mind.
Well, it hadn't happened yet because it came out a year later.
Yeah.
I do wonder if, because I don't know how soon after this movie that they started filming.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he went back and watched it because I know Eric doesn't prefer to watch himself in projects, but I wonder if he remembered that line and he just started laughing because of the whole saying of the few, the proud, the postal.
I just thought that was kind of funny, but awesome at the same time. Just, oh my goodness.
We're going to catch it because we're postables.
One more thing I mentioned from that first lesson. I loved Annie's line when she says, nobody is going to notice you in this world unless you feel like you're worth being noticed. You've got to get rid of this idea that you look like you did back then. It's not what anyone else sees. Trust me. And
that's something that, number 1, Harold needed to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also something that Annie needed to say,
Yeah.
given what she thought about him before she started the dating lessons with him, and what she thought about him back then when they were 15.
Yeah. We get the montage of Harold and Annie working out and Annie helping Harold with his wardrobe. Those were two of my favorite scenes in this movie.
Love them. It's just so funny how the fashion sense and what they deemed good or bad. The leather was a bit much. I don't know how that even made it off the rack, but
oh my goodness.
But no, I thought it was great. I thought it was great the way that she's getting him moving, and she's putting Harold's money where her mouth is.
Mm-hmm.
She's putting it to good use, and she is showing him how to be a better, more appealing, more attractive person.
Yeah. I love when she says, now say, I look good. And he's like,
he can do
I
it.
look good.
He can do it now.
So cute.
Lesson number 1, complete.
Lesson number 2, breaking the ice.
Harold, she threw him to the wolves.
Oh, Annie.
Okay, see that girl over at the bar? Bat her up.
Oh, Annie. That was so awkward when he walked over and he introduced himself. And then he looks over at Annie and the other woman's just like, why are you looking at another?
And he walks away. I mean, Annie completely underestimated how much instruction she needed to give him. But still, the whole reason why they're spending time together in the first place is so that he can learn how to be a good date. And so that you just drop him in the deep end.
Oh my gosh. I love in the next scene when they are at his house, she's talking more about breaking the ice, and she says, say something nice to her, but be sincere about it. Show her you've really paid attention to her. And Harold says, you have beautiful eyes, as he looks at Annie. And can we just talk about that look right there? Because
and how she had to catch her breath for a second and then completely cover and go, good. That felt real.
Oh my God. My heart was melting.
Mine was, because that's a given.
Yes. Harold, Annie, and Willie at the coffee shop. I love when Annie meets Willie and she's complimenting Harold on how well he's doing with the dating lessons. We see Harold ask Julie out.
Well, actually, she asks him out.
Yeah, she asks him out.
But he got her number.
Yes. He goes up to introduce himself, and she's complimenting his haircut and his wardrobe. Harold says, you always look so stylish.
It was something, and it was better than turning and walking away, so.
Yeah. Lesson number 3, the art of conversation. Annie's advice for Harold is to make plans to meet Julie for drinks. This is great because it's a public place, which will make her feel more comfortable since she doesn't know him. And it's a short time commitment, so if things go south, he doesn't have to stay long. And then we see his first date with Julie.
And they're not as compatible as Harold may have hoped, but he's still holding out hope for it.
Yes. In her free time, she loves traveling, she loves fashion, and movies, specifically horror flicks.
Me, horror films, we do not mix. So I personally, if I had been Harold and I was dating Julie, I would have been, bye.
Yeah, same. I can't do scary movies.
This is going to sound repetitive because I said it in the other recap, but I ask you, what living, breathing, red-blooded American, no, hold on, not just American, but what living, breathing, red-blooded woman would not swoon over the fact that this guy is a hopeless romantic who loves to dance and who loves all of the old songs? I ask you. It is so frustrating. Do you know how many times I would have killed for a date of mine to like that kind of thing?
Yeah. What is going on with you, Julie?
What's your problem? I love my husband so much, but dancing is not his favorite thing. When he holds out his hand to dance with me, I'm always surprised because you're gonna you're gonna dance with me, and there's no place around here to go dancing. You know, that isn't a bar. We don't go to bars. That's not us. Yeah. So there's no place to get all dolled up and go dancing. And so I'm just like, he wants you to get all dolled up, come over. He's going to make you dinner. And then he wants to dance with you to all of these beautiful classics. What is your problem?
I know. I'm just like pulling my hair out. What is going on?
And sadly, there are women who are red-blooded and living and breathing who are like that, and I don't understand them.
I don't either. Oh my goodness. I like some of the newer music, but at the same time, I like the older music too. So
it just, I mean, yeah, I like newer music, but there's just nothing quite like the old stuff, you know?
Yeah, exactly. My first concert was Dan Fogelberg when I was 2 years old.
Wow. My first concert was Josh Groban.
That's a good first concert.
When I was 20.
That's an awesome first concert. He's great.
Well, and he can sing like the old classic singers.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I adore his voice so much, and I adore his style so much, is he has new stuff, but he croons out the old songs like nobody's business. So
he has a great voice.
I adore Josh. I adore him.
Yeah. I've been to a few oldies music concerts, including America and Loggins and Messina, and that might be it that I can think of from memory, but they put on a great show too.
I bet.
And the Carpenters are one of my favorites from the 70s.
Love the Carpenters. I've been listening to them since I was a teenager. I love them. They are so good.
My dad got me into the oldies music.
Oh, good for him.
Especially because he is a musician himself. So he grew up on that music, and those are some of his influences. So
yeah, my mom loved Karen Carpenter. She was a young married when in the 70s. But she loved the Carpenters and Karen Carpenter. Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful voice she had.
Classic.
Incredible. And still does, of course, but
well, yes, but just classic range.
Yes. Back to the movie. Lesson number 4, start sharing. I love Annie's line when she says, if you really want to get close to somebody, you need to start sharing. Not only about your background, but talking about things that matter to you and what you're passionate about, as well as what you love and what moves you. But, of course, she was talking to Harold in this scene.
And who does he do most of that sharing with?
Annie.
It wasn't Julie.
It sure wasn't Julie. It's Annie. Harold is afraid he'll disappoint and that he's a bit boring, but Annie disagrees. She says the right person is going to love you for who you are.
Once again, I ask you.
Poor Harold. Wouldn't disappoint me.
I'd fall for him.
Same. Harold stops by the restaurant after his date with Julie to talk to Annie and thank her for everything.
It worked. And she's not happy about it. Gee,
Nope.
I wonder why.
You can see that she is falling for Harold.
Casey had a great line in our recap. She said, Annie is by the river called Denial.
I think I remember that. That was awesome.
I laughed so hard when she said that. I just could not help myself. And I was like, yeah. Because then she tries to sell Kim on the fact that she's not interested in him. And then finally it comes out, oh gosh, I do.
Kim's not falling for it.
Oh no. Kim sees all.
There's a funny line coming up in the scene later on that I just have to mention. You might know which one I'm talking about.
Well, say it now. We can skip.
Okay. So just a few scenes later, I'm just going to jump ahead for a second. Annie and Kim have a conversation at the restaurant. Annie is talking about Harold and how he's changed. Kim tells Annie she has a gift for being a dating coach and how she could be famous one day. I love when Kim says, if they offer you a series, can I please play you?
That sounds like something I would say.
Kim realizes Annie likes Harold, even though Annie is trying to hide those feelings. Kim says, although I have to say, since you've worked on him, he has gotten kind of hot. And then she says, I'm just saying. And then she starts singing, Annie and Harold sitting in a tree. Kissin.
Are we in the third grade?
Jumping back a scene, Harold and Willie are on a run.
And Willie's dying.
That would be me.
That would be me as well. I can work out pretty well, but running, no way.
I mean, I can run, but I would get tired really easily.
Oh yeah.
I love when Willie mentions how ever since Harold has started working out, all he hears at home is, why don't you get in shape like Harold is in?
Boom.
And why don't you ask Harold to bring you with him the next time he works? Harold says, yeah, but it feels great, doesn't it? Willie says, great? This isn't great. Great is sitting at home on my couch, watching the game, drinking beers, and eating chips.
Spoken like a true guy.
Lesson number 5, make her feel special. This was really brief, but I loved when Annie tried his pomegranate smoothie. That actually looked really good.
I'm not a huge fan of pomegranate, but the rest of it I would have been willing to try. So
yeah.
I still would have totally tried it. Just I don't know if my reaction would have been as enthusiastic.
Yeah. I haven't eaten a lot of pomegranate, but it still looked good. I would try it just for the fun of it, just to see how it tastes. Annie says Harold is at the stage where it's not really serious, but he wants it to go that way. So now would be a good time to do something nice for Julie. It shouldn't be anything expensive, which could scare her off. It should be something small to show that he really cares. Harold's idea is to take her somewhere nice for dinner in the city. I love how Annie offers for them to go to dinner together. It's a test run.
We go check it out.
It's a test run.
Test run my foot.
Yeah, a test run.
Like I said, the river denial.
There were parts of this scene that were sad, but it was still a very good scene. Their dinner in the city when they're talking about the homecoming dance, and he says to her that they never actually shared a dance, when Harold finally got the courage to ask her, Matt Schneider beat him to it.
Dang it, Matt.
Boo!
I thought that Annie's reaction was very much a person who was ditzy and the popular girl back in the day, but she has grown up. Because some people stay that way, sadly. But this girl, she's nice. She's a good person. She did not want to be saddled with Harold in the beginning, but then she got to know him and she gave him a real chance. And she's also helping him along the journey, which makes her more emotionally invested. And so when she says, I didn't make you feel that way, did I? You know, she's kind of appalled at herself. That she could be so rude, and she's like, I would never do that. Did I do that?
Yeah.
I mean, and that is somebody who I think has moved on emotionally, and it's a very good sign that she finds her actions reprehensible from back then.
Yeah, I love how she apologized. That was really nice.
She apologized, which was, you know, several years too late, but it was said.
Yes. Harold's compliment to Annie, that was really sweet. He says, you're the prettiest girl from our high school. I know you're going to meet somebody. I've seen your work. It's only a matter of time before somebody hires you. You just have to believe in yourself. I know I do.
Giving her a slight injection of the lessons that she's been giving him. So
yes. Heart is slowly melting just a little bit more.
I can see you sinking in your chair.
Yes. I loved their moment after dinner when they have drinks and they're talking about music. That was really cute.
It's the perfect conversation for these two characters because it's light and fun and just easygoing conversation. Annie is showing without meaning to that she's the perfect woman for him.
They mentioned Billie Holiday, Johnny Mathis, Tony Bennett, Dean Martin, and they start talking about songs that people have as a couple, you know, that they share together. And Harold has always liked the idea of that, which I thought is really nice.
I'm incredibly partial to having a song. My husband and I have a couple, so.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Hopefully when I meet the right guy, I will have a song too.
Oh, we're going to find you a song if you don't have one. You just trust your married, hopeless romantic friends over here. We'll get you a song.
Well, thank you. Hopefully I will meet the right guy soon.
Of course you will. You'll meet him when the time is right.
Yes, that's true. I just laugh because I'm over here living the single life. All my friends are married or engaged.
You're not the only one.
No, I know I'm not the only one. I'm just saying it to be comical, that's all.
Yeah, but don't feel bad. You're not alone.
No, I'm not alone. No. Annie gets home from her date with Harold, and she and her sister Claire, they have a conversation, and you know, she admits that she hasn't been pulling her weight and things haven't worked out like she wanted them to. I love Annie's compliment to Claire about being a great mom and having a great family. That was really sweet.
Yeah. That was adorable. They both made some really huge confessions, and they both made some really big acknowledgments toward each other.
Yeah. We get to lesson number 6, getting close. I love when Annie compliments his new photographs.
Because she is paying attention to his passions.
Mm-hmm. The moment when she almost bumps into Harold, that was funny and cute. And then, you know, after Annie walks away, Harold's just kind of like...
Another classic guy move.
When they get to the living room, you know, Annie is sitting on the sofa next to Harold. She says, the most important thing is to be natural about it. You know, don't do the old guy, got to stretch my arm routine. Stay away from tacky. And use your eyes. Look at a girl when she's talking to you. And if she's looking at you the same way, she's giving you the green light.
The green light.
And then you just lean in slowly. And then you just, and boom.
Boom. Yes.
Clean up on aisle. Clean up on aisle C.
Clean up on aisle C. Clean up on aisle S. Clean up on aisle B for once.
Oh my goodness.
We just all have to take turns mopping each other up because this was hot. I'm just gonna say it flat out. It was hot.
I was fanning myself almost.
Ooh, and see, the funny thing is that Brooke and Eric are not two people I would have ever put together in a movie. I would never think of them as a movie couple. And they did it so well. They fit so naturally together that I was kind of in shock. You know, I was kind of in shock at how well they went together and how well they were able to play off of each other. And I was just like, okay, this is some serious chemistry that needs more exploration, you know, more than, I mean, yeah, you did okay.
Yeah. I like how Harold says, how was it? And Annie says, it was great. I mean, you did all right. She was
still in that dreamy state, you know, like, it was great. I mean,
yeah, trying to play it off. Yeah, we're not falling for that.
We're going back to the river.
Back to the river. Oh, Annie and Kim at the restaurant. So this is another scene between the two friends, which I loved. Kim notices the look on Annie's face and she says, who is he? And does he have a friend that looks like Ben Affleck?
Another classic moment.
Oh my goodness.
And the classic best friend moment too.
Yeah.
You know, just.
Yeah. And then of course Annie starts complimenting Harold, which was nice. She says he is an amazing photographer. He's smart, romantic, and not who she thought he was.
Yep. He can cook too.
And he can cook. Oh, this scene right here just showed me Harold and Julie are not a match. And
are you talking about when he takes her out?
I'm talking about when they have dinner. Or
when they have dinner,
at his home, or about to have dinner at his home.
See, for me, it was that one, and then add insult to injury when he takes her on the photography trip.
That one too,
as opposed to when he took Annie on the photography trip. You know,
that one too.
The contrast was startling.
Yeah, that one too. She apparently is a partier. She likes going out all the time, and he's more laid back, and he wanted to have he wanted to have a quiet night in.
I like going out. I like getting out of the house, but
yeah,
I mean, when you're single and there are no children in the house, a home can be, and especially when you have a home as beautiful as Harold has, there's home can be perfectly romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly romantic.
Yeah, of course. It's always fun to go out, and then at the same time, it's fun to have some nights where you just stay at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not dating, but I'm kind of half and half. I like going out and doing things, but there are times when I just want to stay home and watch a Hallmark movie or something along those lines. Lesson number 7, compromise.
Here's I think where things get dicey.
Yep.
Where the differences between Harold and Julie become very pronounced because there is no compromise on her side.
No, not at all. Annie got the event planning job in the city from Julie's friend.
Thanks to Julie, which, that's one good thing about their dinner.
Yes. Probably the only thing.
Probably.
Annie believes it's a good thing that Julie always wants to go out and do something because it shows the differences between her and Harold. Annie suggests inviting Julie to do something he likes to do. I love Annie's line when she says, "If you want to be with someone, you find ways to compromise, and who wouldn't want to spend time with you, Harold?" So sweet.
So put that with Harold clicking pictures of
that was
her
cute.
left and right and saying, "I never pass up a beautiful photo."
Uh-huh.
So you put that with Annie saying, "Who wouldn't want to spend time with you, Harold?" You got a match made in heaven.
Yes. The scenery in that next scene when they go to take photos. Beautiful.
Gorgeous. 100% gorgeous. And there's all the talk of magic hour.
Yeah.
And Annie really appreciated all of the things that he was showing her, even though she was tired.
Yeah.
She was tired, but she was not going to let that get in the way.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is she could see. Mm-hmm. She could see everything that he was talking about. So it made the trip completely worth it.
Yeah, exactly. But that scenery, though, so beautiful.
That's kissing scenery.
Uh-huh.
Dang it.
That would have been a perfect time.
I mean, like that. It wouldn't have fit in the timeline.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have fit in the timeline, but the scenery itself, that's kissing scenery right there.
Yeah, it wouldn't have fit, like you said, but that scenery would have been perfect for a moment like that.
When I was a teenager, I used to imagine myself walking with a boy I liked in hiking boots and shorts and a long sleeve shirt and walking hand in hand up a mountain or up a hill or something like that on a hike. And then we get to the very top and he tells me that he loves me and then we kiss. I mean, and it was all scenery like that. So I totally got that.
That's awesome. Oh, another favorite scene from the whole movie is when Annie is spending time with Harold at home and they share the first dance to one of the songs that Harold likes. A really sweet moment.
Schneider isn't here to steal you away.
Yes, that moment.
And you notice that he says, "Julie doesn't like this kind of music. You're the only one I can dance with."
Yes.
And then that moment, "Dance with me."
Oh. Uh-huh. I noticed that, yeah.
Fill my heart. I would have been like, yes, 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 yes.
Yes, I'll dance with you. Like, not even give it a second thought.
Oh, whoops, am I too close? Sorry.
Lesson number 8. Follow your heart. Annie telling Harold he's a heartthrob and one of the nicest guys she knows, and that he deserves happiness.
With the graduation cake from the diner or the cafe where she works.
Yeah, that was cute.
It's official. You're a heartthrob.
I have to agree with that assessment.
I would agree with that assessment as well. Yes. You know, all this character playing with all the old classics, you gotta wonder, does Eric Mabius, that this is something I've never been able to ask him. I've never even thought to ask him, dang it, but does he like all the old classics? And if he didn't before, does he now? Or has he had to listen to them too much to play these characters?
I don't know. That would be a fun question to ask next time you talk to him on a podcast episode or at another Rama drama.
Yeah, we'll see when it happens.
Yes. Harold tells Annie that he's always had a crush on her. And I love her line when she says, when in doubt, trust your gut, follow your heart, and always, always be honest with yourself and the person you're with. That's great advice.
Indeed.
And let's just talk about that awkward scene when Harold takes Joy.
Do we have to?
No, we can keep it short. But
everything was wrong. Everything. There was not one redeeming quality from that. That's all I can say about it.
Oh, I mean, she would ask every 5 seconds, can we go now? Can we go now? Are you done?
Dork.
I'd just be standing there just watching, taking in the scenery. No matter how early it was.
Yeah, it was just sad.
It was also a little sad when Harold stops by the restaurant and sees Matt talking to Annie.
This bothered me because it was the very first Matt sighting.
Yes.
Yeah, it number 1. It wasn't number 4. You know, he keeps seeing him come around, and Annie was being completely innocent in her interaction.
Yeah.
You know, she wasn't doing anything that would even suggest that she was into him. It was, you know, seeing an old friend again for the first time in a long time. And he had grown so much and he had gotten past the old Harold.
Yeah. So Harold, you know, walks in the restaurant and he and Annie have a conversation. She tells him that she found an apartment in the city and she'll be moving. And then she thanks him for helping her get the job. The look on his face.
It's very sad.
I love this sister heart-to-heart conversation with.
You mean Annie, they finally reconcile?
Yes, when they finally reconcile.
Yeah, it took forever, but forever infinity, so there.
Yes. Finally, Harold and Julie meet and they agree to go their separate ways. Not the right fit.
She seemed way too upset that he wasn't heartbroken.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, you just said this wasn't working, but you look upset that he doesn't want it to work out.
Leave it at mutually beneficial and go.
Exactly. We see Annie helping out with the fundraiser in the city. She meets Malcolm Winters. His company is having its Diamond Jubilee soon and would like to talk to Annie about it. So he gives her his card so that she can reach out to his office the following week. Then it cuts to Harold going to see Claire to give a note that he wrote for Annie to her.
When Claire sets him straight and says, she likes you.
Yeah, I love when Megan says, Annie told mommy that you are the man of her dreams.
And if you're going to say it, you got to say it right. Annie told mommy that you were the man of her dreams. No, dweems.
Dweems.
Dweems, Nicole. Dweems.
Dweems. So cute. And the young girl that played Megan did a great job.
Oh, she was precious. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though we didn't get many scenes with her, she did a great job.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with a kid.
Yeah. And the last scene in the movie, the fundraiser, Harold arrives
Late.
He arrives late. But still good that he made it there.
Yes.
He offers to donate all of the proceeds from the sale of his photos to help save the parks. I loved Harold's speech. And when he says, I like my life so much more with you in it, I'd like to keep it that way. And I agree with you. I think this would make an excellent choice for the song.
I like it. I just wish it would have been in private, not in front of a bunch of strangers.
Yeah. I thought his speech was nice, but some of it probably should have been in private.
Yeah, but que sera, sera.
That's okay, because it was still a great moment. And the dance, the looks, and the kiss. Again.
And y'all wrap it up with a bow.
Puddle on the floor, Jess.
Jess, you're being paged.
What a great movie.
Yep.
We have some trivia for everyone to end off the episode. Would you like to go first? Or do you
no,
want
I
me
insist.
to go
You go first.
All right. And this is no multiple choice this time. So let's see how I can stump you.
We'll see. Now, to be fair, I haven't watched this movie in a year. So over a year. Yes, it has been over a year. So
how many years ago is the flashback in the very first scene?
Okay. It's either 15 or 20.
Trying to figure out how. I'm not going to tell you.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. It's one of those.
Okay. 15.
Nah.
It was 20. I was half right.
You were half right. I'll give you 50% on that question. What time did Claire say the party for Megan's 6th birthday is?
Oh, not a clue.
Early afternoon.
I was gonna say somewhere between 4 and 5 p.m. Oh no, early afternoon, so 1 o'clock.
You're getting closer.
I don't know.
What time did we start recording today?
1 o'clock? Oh, 2 o'clock your time.
Yes.
We started doing 1 o'clock my time, so
I got you again.
I got half of it right on the first one. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. On their first date, where did Julie tell Harold she just returned from? The country Nope. The country starts with a B.
I don't know. Nope, you got me.
Would this hint help? Soccer is a big sport.
Bolivia.
Nope.
Nope.
Brazil.
I knew that. I knew that.
I definitely got you on that one.
Yes, you got me on that one.
What is Harold's favorite movie?
Casablanca.
Ding, 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 ding. What is the song by Dean Martin that Harold mentions while having drinks with Annie in the city?
You're nobody till somebody loves you.
Ding, 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 ding.
I love that one.
It's a good one.
It is.
And what was Harold cooking for dinner with Julie?
I don't know.
Starts with an R and ends with an O.
I don't know. Risotto. Okay.
So you got...
I thought it was Italian, but I didn't know what kind of Italian.
Yeah. So you got 2.5.
Okay. It works.
6.
Okay. What is the name of their song and who sings it?
Oh. You got me on this one.
I Wanna Be Loved by Dinah Washington.
That's a good song.
What is the name of the woman that Harold goes up to and tries to talk to in the bar?
Is it
When Annie throws him to the wolves.
Amy?
Very good.
Yay!
What is the color of Annie's car?
Is it light blue?
It's blue. So
Blue. Yay, I got it.
okay. What episode of Signed, Sealed, Delivered
Oh gosh.
is Jodie Thompson in?
Oh my gosh. Cammy!
The one person you didn't mention.
Hang on, let me give it some thought for a second. Just let me go over in my head all of the episodes. Okay, I can't focus. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Can you give me a hint?
Nope.
Oh, Cammy!
I already gave you a hint. It's an episode, not a movie.
Okay, so it's an episode. Okay, that'll narrow it down. Oh my gosh. I think you might have to take away my festivals card. I'm going to be kicking myself. when you tell-
Probably.
Go ahead and tell me.
Dark of Night.
Dang it!
Do you know who she played?
Oh! I think it's hitting me now.
I'm taking the card.
I think it's hitting me now. Didn't she play one of Melissa's friends?
The British best friend.
Yes.
She's yours tomorrow, Michael, but she's ours tonight.
I can't believe I didn't get Shame on me. For as many times as I have watched, I should
Dark
have
of
known
Night.
that.
I'll take that card. Thank you. All right, last one. Name the 4 ingredients of Harold's smoothie.
Pomegranate, coconut, raspberry, and oh gosh, I'm not gonna look at my notes, but it's in my
No,
notes.
you may not.
And I can't remember the other one.
Pineapple.
Pineapple. That's
Did
right.
you have it written down?
I don't think I had pineapple written down, but I had the
Okay.
other 3.
Okay.
Oh, well, you got
We
me
got
again.
each other. We got each other.
Yes. Made it fair.
So I guess
Right.
that still leaves me ahead.
Just wait. Our next game night, I'm really going to get you back.
Oh, okay. Okay. We'll see.
We'll see. Well, this has been so much fun. Thank you, Cammie, for joining.
You're welcome.
It's always fun chatting with you.
Yeah, and we're not doing it to edit one of my episodes for a change.
Yes. But I still enjoy that too.
Oh, good. Thank you.
All right, Hallmarkies. I think that wraps up our recap of How to Fall in Love with our wonderful friend Cammie from Hallmarkies podcast, Deliver Me a Podcast, and Hearties Hotline. We will link those channels in the show notes below. We hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next time. We love y'all.
Bye, guys.